Hi gamers, hi raiders, welcome on in. We'll be with you in just a minute. Just finishing getting all set up for you. And we'll be here soon. But thank you so much for the love and the support. Thank you for the hype train. Thank you for the subs. Mwah. I appreciate y'all. I'll see you soon. Alright, we're going live.
Okay.
Whoa.
Hi. Happy
Hi,
holidays.
chat. Hi, chat.
Hi, chat.
Oh my gosh, is that the raid alert coming through for that raid from a little while ago? Coco, thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. Yeah, Coco, I think was caught in jungle traffic right now. So we'll just chat with y'all and then hang out for a little bit. But hi, Hi, welcome on, and if it's your first time here, I am Marina. I am a variety VTuber. I'm a sweaty gamer girl. Yeah, I do these streams weekly. I mean, I have two as well. I have more than one. It's wild.
Too much power.
Dude, is it power?
It is.
Do you?
It is.
Why are you getting closer? Are you trying to?
It is way too powerful.
Do you smell the pheromones?
I do. They
Yeah.
are so enticing. It is like. Watch out! I better keep that feather away from you, though.
This is how I'm hoping to get Coco over here. If I leave my
Damn it!
tits out,
I wish I could raise my arm to summon
Oh,
Coco. It's like she's here now. I can.
is that? It's almost like I can. It's almost like I can hear her. Yeah. It's almost like I can hear her, except I need to make sure that she doesn't have a black background, so I can pee it out. Smile.
A black background. I wouldn't have that.
That would be so wild, right? Okay, hold on. Let's just yeah. We got chat. Pits are almost working. Let's see if we can get the magic to work. Where are we gonna go? We're gonna go with turn that one off. Turn this one on. We're gonna go with that one. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so
Stand by for Coco nutting.
That's good enough right now. Oh shit. Wait, that work?
Hi, Coco!
I'm huge!
There you are. Oh my gosh, you're huge. Yeah, feel free to readjust. But hi! Thank you all so much for the subs, all of this love that's happening. Thank you for all the follows. Like I said, I'm Marina, I'm a variety VTuber. If it's your first time here, we do this every week. Oh, bigger, please. Yeah, how big can you go? We do this every week. We answer your sex ed and relationship questions, and we give the best advice because I always only have the most highly qualified guests.
Oh
on.
God, yes. Very high.
Yes. This week we have two wonderful. Hold on.
Feet pics. Get your feet pics. Oh no, I'm on the wrong layer.
Oh my God.
The feet forever escape me. I cannot lick toes.
I bet your chat is so jealous right now.
Oh no, ma'am.
Oh no. Oh, okay. Hold on. All right, there you go. You have toe powers unlocked. Yeah. I'm not getting enough. Hold on.
I haven't
There, I get the whole soul.
I
in
haven't
one go.
showered in 2 weeks.
Oh my God. No wonder it tasted so good.
Get that flavor.
Yeah.
Savor the flavor.
Yeah. Okay. That was so. I popped into your stream and I saw that like I haven't showered in, and I was like, I don't think she knows this is my kink. I don't know what. I don't think she knows what she's doing to me right now. I was like, where do I bid? Where's the sign up sheet? Oh my gosh. But yeah. Why don't you give us a bit of an introduction, both of you? You want to start, Coco? So you're not just some floating toes and people know who you are?
Hi, I'm Coco.
Yeah.
She definitely doesn't
Oh wait, I think
have a mouthful of food right now.
I think I have a hold on. I think shit. Hold on. Where's hold on. Shit, hold on.
Don't joke.
Which one is the oh shit.
Are you okay, Marina? Can we
wait,
help
do none of
somehow?
these work? Where is the
Did something break?
Oh, it got unsaved. Oh, here we go.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Coco.
What's up, Coco?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Sorry,
that's all I got.
my voice mod decided to reset and delete all of my soundboards.
Oh no.
This is the second time it's happened, like, since I started streaming. I don't know why. Just randomly it'll update and be like, hey, your profile's gone. Like, huh?
You didn't need those,
It's
right?
very weird. Yeah, no. I know you've been streaming a while, so if you need to, pop a banana down your throat or whatever you got to do, go ahead and make sure that you do that.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Intro time.
Yeah. Okay.
Here we go.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Coco.
Ooh. I think they need a little bit more than that. Hi, I'm Mim. Wow, you're right. That works.
I told you, it's the best.
Wow, that's super easy.
All right. Well, I have two wonderful content creators with me today. I'm super excited. Do you want to give me a little bit of an insight as to your qualifications? I know you're not a koala, but you're a monkey. But you're what makes you a good person for us to take advice from?
Are we talking like just general, like a sex advice, or like I haven't done a ton of kinky shit, that's for sure, but
Okay.
I've been in
There's
some crazy relationships, let me tell you.
Oh, okay, exciting.
I don't know, back during my college days, I lived with the person I was with, and we lived together for, I think it was about a year or something, roughly, and I think there may have been, on like one hand, throughout the year where we weren't having sex. It was almost every day during my college years. We were horny kids, that's for sure.
Wow, you were keeping busy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I love that for you. It's healthy.
Studying hard.
I
I
mean,
mean, what else are you gonna do in college?
all right. So basically what we're hearing is Coco fucks. So we know we're getting good advice there. Okay.
Cuckoo for Cocoa
Uh,
Fox.
I mean, I'd eat that cereal.
Right?
I'd put some milk in that bowl.
With or without milk.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true. Sometimes you're just in the mood for some dry Cocoa fucks. Just crunch a little bit.
Get that texture.
Yeah. Yeah, you know.
Made with real coconut flavor.
Feynerosa, thank you for the raid. I really appreciate it. Welcome on in, Raiders. All right, Mim. So, what about you? Why are you qualified or not?
I'm fucking not. I'm not
to-
qualified. I'm not at all. Okay, well, lifelong kingster, but okay, I'm the expert in what not to fucking do. How about that? Like, I'm the expert in okay, I've made a lot of mistakes in relationships. I made a lot. Like, I got into kingster stuff and like really early in life, and like I did a lot of crazy, stupid things that I wish that I hadn't done, but they were great learning experiences. And so I feel like, I at least have something like that to add, like to show people like, hey, if you're looking into getting into stuff like exploring the kink world or just relationships and sex and stuff like that, I've fallen into a few pitfalls myself. So I can at least show you what to avoid,
Yeah. Understandable. Well, I'm excited to hear, what y'all have to say. This is the fourth week, I believe, that we are doing this. So it's about to be a full month of sex ed and relationship advice, chat. And I have had a great time, and every time we have different questions. I gave Mim a little bit of a preface to it, but I'll fill you in since you're joining us, Coco. But basically, we run for about 2 hours, up to 3. It kind of depends on like how everyone's feeling. I will check in with y'all periodically, and we'll just, have some fun and answer some questions, and hopefully chat learns a thing or two. And sometimes we learn a thing or two, you know? Yeah. All right, then. Coco, can I have you step back just like a step?
She's ready to
perfect.
sell stuff at the bar.
That's good. Oh, okay.
We're here
You
to
can get a
help.
little bigger. You can get a little step forward now. It's like I feel like I'm like directing you to like step into the group portrait, right? It's like, okay, so
You put your
now
right
just
foot
forward a little
in,
bit.
You put your right foot out. You put...
Okay, yeah. Other direction. Okay.
Here, I'll
Step to your
I'll go
right.
with you,
Step to
Coco.
your. Okay. Yeah. So okay. All right. Can I have you step forward and like zoom in a little bit? No, just little.
No, okay, a little left. Okay, now a little right.
Okay. Yeah. No. Perfect. Okay. All right.
Wait, can you do an inverted axle flip?
Yes.
Oh shit! Wow!
Oh my gosh, that's what was nice is I got a little sniffa like every so often as you went by. It was real good. Are you sure it's
You
only
go
been 2
forever
weeks?
like that? Are you a perpetual motion engine?
Yes. Forever.
Free energy.
Wow. High efficiency. We love that.
Civilization runs on cocoa.
All right, are we ready to take our first question?
Ready.
Sure.
All right, and chat, as we answer questions, if you would like to add a question, !question is the command, and you can add questions. We will be not necessarily going in order. We will also not be able to answer every question. We already have 30 questions today. We usually are able to get to anywhere between 10 and 15. But we will kind of skim and get a nice variety of questions, and yeah, make sure you ask us anything you want to. All right. And the command does not add your question. The question command will give you the link to the ask.ping.gg
I knew that.
link. Yeah, it'll give you the link, and then you can do that. Damn, what them feet do, girl, shit.
Is that our first fucking question?
Wow. No, that is not our first question.
Okay.
But whose feet are you talking about, Coco?
Whoever wants to answer.
Were you asking about your own? Were you hoping that we wouldn't notice it was you, and like we would think that it was someone asking about
What
your
the-
feet because
No.
you wanted to talk about your feet?
No.
Is that what's
No.
happening here?
No.
All right, we'll take our first question. Our first question here. Hey, yo. Oh my gosh, I'm getting toes from everyone today. I'm about to have to take like a 15-minute BRB break real quick. All right, we will answer our first question, which is, does height matter in sex? In sex, that's interesting, not in a relationship. I know we talk a lot about other types of sizes, but does whether a person being short or tall affect the relationship in a bedroom setting?
I feel
The way we do this is, when we get a question, feel free to just hop in and answer. I will usually let you two just kind of answer if you want to. And then,
well, I think it comes down to the preferences of the individual that's being asked the question, really. Like for me, it's I prefer people who are taller than me. I like being, I'm a submissive. I like feeling smaller than my partner. I like, especially when they can like completely wrap me up in their arms and like I can feel like, I could lose control because they're so much stronger than me. And like it just creates a really fun, playful power dynamic. And like I like that. I like that a lot. It's not to say that there's anything wrong with people that are my height or a little bit shorter than me. I've definitely been attracted to people that are my height or shorter, but it's a different type of energy. It's a different type of attraction. Like if we're getting down and doing the nasty, I want to be the smaller one. I prefer being the smaller one.
Yeah.
What
you think, Coco?
All of my partners have been around my height. Pretty much what Mim said. Like, it's all about preference. I don't think. Sorry, unless you are.
Warn me next time so I can have my mouth open.
Unless you're having like a one night stand or something, it's and you have your own preferences. Like, odds are, if you're dating somebody, they're not gonna care how tall you are. They
Yeah.
probably already like you for you. Doesn't matter if you're 4 feet tall or 7 feet tall. Although, if somebody 4 feet tall gets with somebody 7 feet tall, I would love to see that. Because that would be that would be very interesting to see.
A jungle gym of a person. That's what I'm after.
We can probably find that video online. I feel like it's the internet, right? Like, it's gotta exist.
I got a little bit of everything.
Right now.
I mean, I've seen plenty of hentai with size difference. So
Sometimes they're the size of a city.
it's true.
Yup.
It's true.
That's
Giant
that
women,
weird
though.
shit.
Yeah. Give me that kaiju daddy. Step on me, daddy. It's the last thing you ever say.
Yeah, for me, height doesn't matter. I've been with women taller. I've been with women shorter. It's. I guess I don't know. I don't really care, but when someone is more petite than me, it makes, I guess, playing into them being submissive a bit easier. Yeah. I'm not a champion weightlifter, so being able to actually pick up someone that is small versus when I have someone who is like bigger than me, probably might not happen the same way, and it's a different feeling to be able to like slam someone down the bed, right? Yeah. Which is fun, but yeah, at the end of the day, does height matter? Should you be stressed about your height?
No.
Nah.
No.
Find someone who's gonna like you for you, regardless, right? If you run into someone and they're like, you're too short or you're too tall for me, like whatever it is, fuck them or don't fuck them, like just you'll find someone who doesn't care about that.
King, awesome.
Yeah.
Amen.
7'4", lifting 450 pounds. Okay, King, we can hang.
What?
All right, let's see.
King says they are 7'4" and they can lift 450 pounds. I want to play with that. Throw me.
Oh wait, there's this new button. Done. It gets okay. Cool. It gets rid of it, and then we can keep going. All right. Let's see. What's another one? Oh, good question. Should you worry about your partner flirting with other people?
I think it,
Uh-huh.
again,
What's your
it
take on
depends
this?
kind of on the dynamic of your
Yeah.
relationship.
Some people have open relationships. Some people have multiple partners. I mean, if you are in a relationship where you are just, you and your partner are, it's something you have to talk to your partner about, because maybe they might be a person who wants to have multiple partners, or maybe you want to have multiple partners and they don't. That's just something you need to discuss purely with your partner. It's I had an old relationship where my partner agreed that they would only point out other pretty girls and I would only point out good-looking men. So it was we weren't necessarily flirting with them, but we were both comfortable with going, that person's hot, like so
Yeah.
it's something you have to talk to your partner about.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. It's all about communication. Communication is the most important. Should you worry? I mean, Should you worry in a healthy relationship? No.
No.
Yeah, no.
If this is questioned, if this is framed from like, so my partner's kind of flirtatious with other people, should I be worried? That's a have that conversation.
Yeah.
If it's making you uncomfortable, number one is, why are you uncomfortable? Is there a reason that you feel like you can't trust them? Other than you just being scared? Like,
Yep.
if there's an actual definitive reason, then discuss it. But if it's just you being worried because, oh my gosh, they're flirting, what if they're cheating on me? Or like, if it's that kind of situation, yeah, those become self-fulfilling prophecies when you're worried about like, will my relationship be bad? And then you start getting all in your head. Like, communication is always number one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Detective, thank you for the raid. Welcome on in, raiders. Hi. I'm Marina. I'm joined here by Coconuts and Mimcubus, and we are doing our weekly
More raiders.
sex ed and relationship.
More.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
More.
Eve. Oh my gosh. More. Welcome on in. Okay, I will do the spiel one more time. Welcome on in. I'm Marina. I'm a variety VTuber. I'm a sweaty gamer girl. Yeah, we're doing weekly sex ed and relationship advice. I'm joined this week by Coconuts. Say hi.
Hi.
And Mim. Say hi.
Hello.
I love that. I love that, Kisu. Yeah. But we're answering questions right now. So if you happen to have any questions, you want relationship advice, or you want to know something about sex ed, please feel free to ask. You can use !question. One of my mods will use that command and show you the form that you can use to ask a question. And we will answer as many questions as we can today. You can always see the question on screen. So right now we're asking about if you should worry about your partner flirting with other people. And I mean, I think we all agree that it really comes down to communication. Should you be worried? I think you should never try to be worried about your partner. You want to give you want to have trust in a relationship. At the end of the day, if you don't have trust, it really is a relationship that should be reevaluated
at all. Yeah, if you don't if you're not having if you don't have trust, then there's not a relationship happening.
So one of the biggest red flags, maybe you need to talk to a therapist and see if you're ready for a relationship, or if something happened that caused you to have trust issues. Maybe it's a relationship that is not the healthiest for either of you, right? So that's always the way that I look at it, is if there's trust issues, that should be reevaluated.
And that's
in
between you, your
way.
partner, and your relationship therapist.
Yeah. And there are also different levels of flirting, right? And different reasons for it. So if, let's say, you're going to visit your partner at work and they're a bartender and you're watching them flirt with customers, listen, anything that's got any like level of parasociality to it as a job where you're working with people in human interaction, stuff like that's just gonna happen. And if you're not comfortable with it, you might want to go date somebody else who's not a bartender or not a streamer or not a sex worker, or like something that falls into any of the realm of like dealing with human interaction where they might be flirtatious, and that's just part of what they do, right?
Yep.
That's always something to keep in mind. Yeah. Bartender flirting, get that tip money, babe. Yeah. Hi, Maven. How are you?
And also don't mistake like being friendly with flirting too.
Yes. You were talking to them too long. Like, huh? Like, what?
Yeah, that's when that starts to get into like controlling territory and jealousy territory and manipulation, and that's just not. That's, again, red flags.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's see. Okay. This question is, why cock and ball torture?
Isn't it concerning? You might hurt your partner.
Yeah, isn't it concerning that you might hurt your partner, whether you're experienced?
I think that is. I think that's a concern with any sort of kink play, especially impact play, and especially anything that involves pain as pleasure. a certain amount of experience and a certain amount of understanding of how you're supposed to do it and do it safely is always a good idea before going into a situation like that. Thankfully, there are lots of resources and professionals out there that you can get some good information from on those topics. I am not one of them, but I can give you some tips on certain, just things that I have experienced and I have learned how to do safely. With cock and ball torture, again, communication in a situation like that is absolutely key. You before you ever even start doing something like that with your partner, you should have very clearly defined boundaries. You need a safe word. You need to know how, if you're going to be tying someone up, you need to know how to operate that stuff efficiently and effectively and safely, and how to get them out of it if they start to panic or if something goes wrong. Like there's so much that you need to be prepared for, and there's always going to be a little bit of nervousness, especially going into it. Of like, I don't want to do this wrong. I don't want to hurt my partner. And that's good. That's healthy. You want to be worried. You want to have those things in your head. And they get easier with practice.
Why not cock and ball torture?
Yeah.
Go get a vice right now. Go crazy. Go banana bonkers. See what happens. No, don't do that. That's bad advice.
Yeah, I think when it comes to anything that you're doing, whether it seems potentially dangerous or whether it seems harmless, you might not realize some of the risks and dangers. So you want to always be researching what you're doing, both you and your partner, okay? Let's say you want to try out shibari rope tying.
Oh God!
Don't just go grab some rope and start trying to tie each other up.
That's how people lose limbs.
No. Yeah, you need to have both of you look into it, and honestly, something like that is like, go take a class together. Do it as a couple bonding experience, right? Like, go learn how to do that kind of stuff in a safe way. Utilizing safe words, all kinds of stuff. Like, don't just jump into anything, right? Some people might think like, oh, wax play, that's another example. Just grab some candles, light them, and start dripping them on your partner. That's real hot, right? Well, you might not know, if you're not a chemist or have a good, chemistry background, that different physical candles, they have different physical properties, and they will burn at different temperatures, which means one candle may burn at a cooler temperature and one candle may burn at an extremely high temperature. They're both wax, but one wax might burn the shit out of someone.
Yep.
Right? They actually make candles that are made for safe play that don't burn as hot, and candles that have different burning temperatures on purpose for you to kind of work your way up. There are all kinds of that's just an example. But if you take anything in kink play that is out of the ordinary, right? I mean, even sex, even regular, just regular sex, it's important to be educated, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anytime you're going above and beyond into the realm of kink play or anything special, you always want to make sure you are doing the research. Okay.
Yep.
I'm not here to teach you how to tie someone up, unfortunately, or which candles to use for wax play or whatever. That's up to you. Okay. I'm here to make sure that you do that research, but I can't do the research for you, right? So just make sure you keep that in mind, anything you're doing. So if someone is into, that mix of pain and pleasure involved in something like CBT, nobody should be doing that without proper research, proper education, and knowing how to do things, right? It is super dangerous to be like, you know what, I'm kind of into the kink of getting pain on my parts and then just doing things or having someone do something without having any idea what's safe and what's not. And honestly, if you meet someone new and they're like, oh, I totally know what I'm doing, make sure you also know what you're doing, because you are responsible for your own body at the end of the day, right? And a lot of people might say things and their actual level of experience or knowledge might not be up to a safe range. So just take care of yourself. It's the main thing there.
Someone.
But yeah, I don't know. Cock and ball torture, not my thing. But yeah, sorry, man. What's up?
Someone in chat asked if, but aren't there professionals that will give you opposing advices? Like for one thing, they might, for something you'd like to try, one might praise you and another might shame you. I'm not quite sure about the praise and shame thing. If they're praising you and shaming you for wanting to try something, then you're having the wrong conversation with that professional, in air quotes. Like, if the conversation is about anything other than safety and how to practice your play with your partner in an environment where you are safe or as safe as possible. If the conversation isn't about that, then you're having the wrong conversation, and I would find someone else to talk to, honestly.
And hurting your partner is something that's going to happen regardless. Like cock and ball torture, any kinks aside, you're going to bump your head too hard on the headboard, or you're going to turn them over and, I don't know, fucking sprain their ankle somehow. I don't know. Like injuries will happen. You can't do sex often without a little bit of pain here and there.
Yep.
It's
part of the
You sound like you have a first-hand experience. I mean, you were talking about being very active. Do you have any stories of anything bad happening? Anything to avoid? Anything to be careful about?
Punched him in the face once on accident.
On accident, she claims.
Well, it wasn't on I didn't punch him in the face on purpose.
How do you accidentally punch? Like, was it like you just were moving your arms around, or like?
It was like, you just roll over, and then your arm goes around, and then you accidentally have a fist, and you're mad at them because they. No, I'm kidding. And you just accidentally, give him a good old sucker punch.
Yeah, Issa's down bad in my chat right now.
Issa, what are you doing? What are you doing later? What are you doing later, Issa? Issa, I'll punch you. $5.
Oh shit! I'll get in.
All right, yeah, but I think I think we understand the point of this. Anyone want to add anything on this one? No.
DM my mods pictures of your CBT. They love it.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. Let's see.
I'm punchable and I have $5.
Oh.
Excellent. That's a Craigslist ad if ever I've seen one.
All right. Here's an advice one. Let's tackle a relationship advice one. So this is a close friend I've known for a year got a boyfriend 2 weeks ago. We were talking, texting a lot almost every day, and I was planning on asking them out. But now we barely even talk, and it feels like they're forcing themselves to talk to me. Short replies and 5 to 8 hour breaks before replies. Should I just let them be, like stop talking to them, or should I say something about it?
I'm sorry, I'm gonna read that again just to make sure I have it.
Relationships come and go.
Yep.
I had a friend. I never did anything sexual with them, but I had a friend I knew since I was 6 years old. It wasn't until recently that I just stopped talking to him. Like, some people will stay in your lives for a long time, but there's other people who I've been super close with and thought they were really cool, and now I never talk to them. Sometimes relationships just come and go. That you're going to meet a lot of people in your lives, and I think especially like us as streamers, we've seen so many people come and go. Again, we're not in relationships with them, but it just happens, Sometimes we have a really cool viewer and we're like, yeah, I hope they stick around. They're so fun, and then they just gone. Like nothing. And it'll happen.
It's true. It's true. And I think this is hard because I was planning on asking them out. So this was someone that you've known for a year and you got feelings for. And so seeing someone you get feelings for get into another relationship is always hard.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, and obviously I don't know if the person who asked this is in chat, so I asked this just out to the open, is like, did this person know? Like, did they know you had feelings for them? Like, because I feel like that kind of potentially affects things too, right? If they did they like you at all? Like, what's that situation like? Because seeing them get into a relationship and then start to distance themselves from you, it could be because they are afraid of how they are or may hurt you because they care about you as a friend.
Right.
It could be simply because they are just so infatuated with this new person that there's nothing else on their mind.
Yep.
And they're spending all of their time and mental energy on this other person. And it's really nothing personal to you. They're not talking to anybody, right? No, that always feels like shit because, you know.
Yeah, I would hesitate to bring it up to them at this point. Especially since it's only 2 weeks into stuff. Like, let them, they're starting a brand new relationship with somebody. And especially if it's just 2 weeks in, like, if they really like this person, then of course you're going to hear from them less.
Mm-hmm.
It's not anything personal. Just like Marina said.
Yeah, especially at the start of relationships when that spark is still hot, you know? They can't keep their hands off each other, always texting and like
yes.
You're if they're not, or if they still want to be your friend or still want to talk to you, they will. You don't want to push it though.
Yep.
Never try to push it. If you try too hard, you're probably going to distance yourselves from them even further. So just let it happen naturally. It hurts. It, you know, Marina said it. It hurts. It hurts seeing somebody you like in a relationship when you wish you were in a relationship with them instead, but unless you want to become a homewrecker, then which I don't recommend.
Yeah.
Don't.
It's.
I was gonna say don't
go for it, man.
Don't be, as much as it hurts. Like you run the risk of being the selfish one and hurting this relationship with your friend over something that, you know, you should be happy at the fact that they might have found somebody that they like. And if they don't get back to you for a little bit, look, you've been texting them, the ball's in their court now. So just let them, maybe don't text them for a little while, and like, not because you're avoiding them, just give them that space to get back to you. Give them the time to, you know, experience the things that they're wanting to experience right now and focus on. And if that relationship with them is if their relationship with you is something that they also really treasure, then they will get back to you when they have time. It might be weeks, it might be weeks, it might be, you know, a little bit, but just try to be patient.
It's true. And emotions are hard, you know. In this situation, they could be that there's a possibility that you getting close to this person, that they could have had some sort of feelings for you too. And ultimately, when you have multiple people in front of you that you have feelings for, which could be this person's scenario, like, it's hard to sort all that out. And eventually, if they decide to date this other person, right, they got this boyfriend, it might seem selfish or weird because you're like, well, there was someone anyway, but it might still be hard for them too to kind of rationalize everything. And so distance might make sense. And yeah, at the end of the day, you can't force anyone to like you or be with you or not be with anyone else. Like, that's all really unhealthy and it sucks and it hurts, you know. But the best thing you can do is just take time to yourself, right? Hang out with other friends. Try to do everything you can to just focus on other stuff. Because yeah, like has been said, if it's meant to be the friendship or whatever, they'll come back. And also, like, I've had friends who get into relationships I'm super close with, and then all of a sudden it's almost like they drop off the face of the planet. but it's not like we have to stop being friends, right? Like, everyone who I consider my friend, I don't need them to be constantly checking in with me. Like, there'll be someone who I'm like, oh, I haven't talked to them in 6 months. I wouldn't say they're not my friend. Like, I would just say, our lives sometimes go into different places, and you reach out and talk. And I've had literally, I can think of a friend gets into a relationship. We don't talk as much. It's totally okay, because, a month later, like, we're talking all the time for a week, and then we stop talking for a little bit, and it's just, you don't force it. You let it just kind of happen the way it is. And if you're feeling like really needy in your friendships, it might be something to reevaluate, right? Because it's never something that is super healthy, right? You don't want to be dependent on relationships, friendships, whatever it might be. You want to have your own sense of self. That's important. It helps avoid situations like this. Yeah.
Relationships don't happen on a schedule, and rarely happen on your schedule. So just try to be patient.
Yeah. What was it? Okay. All right. We take another one. I like taking relationship advice ones when people ask about certain situations. Those are always fun. Oh, okay, here we go. I'm pretty nervous about starting to actively try dating for the first time. Any advice or things to look out for?
Do they like anime? That's a red flag.
Yeah.
If they like anime, don't
they watch
do
VTubers.
it. Yeah.
Don't go for those.
Agreed.
Disgusting. Jesus, there's a million things. I mean, it depends on God, there's so many factors. Depends on what type of person you are, because there's different things you're gonna look for in a relationship that other people are gonna look for in a relationship. Fucking I guess shit. Oh God, this is such an open-ended question.
Yeah, it's hard. This is hard to answer.
Yeah. We can focus on just a couple, your most important piece of advice or two, things that stand out to you.
Don't interview people. Like, if you are on a date with someone, don't treat it like an interview. Like you're asking them like question after question after question after question. Just relax,
That's
be
good advice.
yourself. I mean, that's it. That's where it ends. Be yourself. If you are trying to put on an act or seem cooler or different than how you normally are, then as your relationship goes on, they're gonna start to see like the real you. So show you the real you to start. That's what I would say. Always be yourself. Or else I'll get you.
She'll punch you in the face.
Or else. I love that. Yeah, no, I feel like you nailed it, Also, I was sent this. I love it. Who did this? Where did this come from?
Oh, that's Star. She does a ton of art for me.
Wow.
Return of
I
the
love
Giant Coco. Ah! Yeah.
It was very cute. I love it. Yeah.
Oh, Coco.
Listen, when you get big, so do your coconuts, it makes everyone happy, right?
Amen.
Right? Yeah.
Chat loves it.
Chat, nod if you like that, right? Right, Coco? We're all nodding. We're nodding. Yeah, nod if you like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would say kind of like what you're saying about the don't interview, like focus on having, when you're like, I'm not sure what to ask or talk about, keep in mind, yes, it is better to talk about fewer things deeply than it is to just rapid fire as many things as you can, right? It's better to if you find something interesting, just go deeper. Go, talk about something more or ask about something more, as opposed to asking a very shallow question, right? And then getting a shallow answer. You ask someone, you know, what their favorite movie is or whatever, right? Like, oh, I noticed you said you really like, you know, music or bands or whatever. Or if you already know that they like something, maybe talk about something you have similar interest in, like dive deeper into see like when they first got introduced to something or whatever it might be, like that kind of stuff. Like allowing someone to explain their background, their life, to get a sense of who they are, that's always gonna serve better and create deeper connections than just like, all right, what are your 5 favorite movies? Okay, what are your 5 favorite bands? Okay, what are your 5 favorite foods? I ran out of things to ask about, right? And then you're just like having people list stuff off. Like there's nothing super deep there.
Also,
right.
I like
Any,
to
Yeah.
I like to do a physical activity for like first dates, like mini golf or bowling or something.
Yeah. Oh, like that. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, no. I like to fuck on the first date. Because
I also like to do physical activities.
some people have issue with just sitting down and talking. Like, at least I do. I like
Yeah.
if I just sit there and I'm like, yeah, you know, oh, I'm a VTuber. I don't tell them I'm a VTuber. Fuck that. But it's good to have something physical to do.
You gotta hide your red
in my
flags.
opinion. Yeah. Or if you could do something competitive, then you can see how they are in a competitive scene. You know, if they start to get mad,
That's
you know,
true.
like, oh, you beat them at mini golf, and they're like, "Fuck you, suck my ass," and you're like, okay, maybe I don't want to be with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
just
agree
me.
with you.
All right.
Dinners are
Anything else you
want
wanna
to
add to this?
awkward for first dates. You're just sitting there. Yeah, something to
Oh,
do.
and loud places too. I had a date where we were had live music, and it was so hard to hear them. I'm like, huh? What? You know, over and over. I'm like, I can't hear you, and like they didn't want to leave. I'm like, okay, I guess we're just gonna sit here and have trouble hearing each other.
This is great.
All right. Let's take another question. All right. My dom is a soft dom. How would you suggest easing him into more intense play?
A whip.
Yeah, go straight for impact play. It works out great.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Don't do any prep either. Just like start out whapping.
Any thoughts on this? Anyone
How would
want
you
to start with this
suggest?
one?
Ask.
Yeah, ask. Make
Yeah.
sure that they're comfortable with it before.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna suggest it, bring it up. Talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, just don't try to manipulate them into trying something, you know, that they may not be comfortable doing yet. Talk about it.
Yes. Communication.
Be like,
Communication.
hey,
Can't
I've
stress
really
enough.
been wanting to try this lately. What do you think? And like, you know, just, you know, have fun with
Yeah.
it. Explore. Talk about it. If you have a fun video that you can show them as like an example of like, this is what I want to try, then show it, you know, give them something to work with.
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing that holds people back in interacting with people is fear of judgment or fear of not knowing how to communicate something that might lead to judgment or anything like that. Like, I think part of the communication is the self-awareness, right? And discussing the communication itself. Like, you can say, I wasn't sure how to bring this up, but it's been on my mind a lot, right? That kind of thing, like, lets them know I'm going to be extra vulnerable for a second. So please comfort me in even bringing this up to you, right? Like, that's sort of the idea there. So communicating about communication and establishing that is always so important in a relationship, right? Yeah, you want to bring up stuff like that, and also always feel free to give feedback. Like, hey, I just want to let you know, you make me feel so comfortable to talk to you, right? Or whatever it might be. Or I hope you feel comfortable talking to me. Stuff like that. Like, just bringing those things up there to open up that line of communication and make it a norm in your relationship is good. So then when it comes to talking about stuff like this, you are into more intensive stuff. You have a dom, but they're a bit of a softer dom. I will tell you, as a dom myself, you kind of have to always start in the soft dom realm until you know what the person is comfortable with. And it's not like a dom should not be just randomly trying new things out on you. That's not how that should work.
No.
Like, they can communicate with you, but really, you should be communicating the things that you are interested in. But you have to be respectful if they just tell you they're not comfortable with it. Or they may need something extra. Maybe it's more time. Maybe it's just more conversation to feel comfortable, right? For people that don't, like, okay, so I'll give, like, for example, if I was with someone who wanted rougher play than I'm used to, I would have to feel extremely comfortable, because I'm just someone who, like, I never want to hurt anybody. I never want to push someone's limits. Like, I am extremely cautious, as I honestly believe every dom should be. So it would really take a lot for me to feel comfortable enough to push into realms outside of what I'm used to, or just into what you would say here, more intense play. Definitely start the conversation, but you have to know that not all doms want to do everything, right? Some doms may be totally okay with more physical stuff, like choking, or slapping, or things like that. But some doms may be like, I'm not interested in that. I don't feel comfortable doing that, and you have to respect that, right?
Yep.
You have to respect at the end of the day that not every partner is going to necessarily line up with everything that you want. And if you feel like it's a need, if you feel it's a sexual need and not a sexual desire, then you have to reevaluate the relationship. Yeah.
Yep.
Communication. Can't stress enough. Communication, communication, communication.
Yep. Honesty.
Mhm.
Open communication. Don't beat around the bush about what you want either.
Oh,
Be honest.
God. Yes.
Be honest right out of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because suggest easing him into more intense play. I really want to make sure that it's clear that the mindset shouldn't be like, how do I get my partner to do this, right? Like, because I feel like it's the classic, how do I get my girlfriend to try anal kind of thing, right? Like, that's the wrong mindset to have.
That's a manipulative mindset. That's not fun for anyone.
Yes, and you never want to have a manipulative mindset. You want to make sure that it's not, how do I get my girlfriend to try anal, but it's, I'm really curious at trying anal, so how do I bring this up? And the answer is, don't try to manipulate a partner into anything, right? And that's the example, though. It's like, let them know, hey, I've been interested in trying this. Would you ever feel comfortable? Or is there a way for me to make you feel more comfortable?
I love you, Marina.
That could do that. Oh my gosh, Nitros, thank you so much for the gift subs. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for supporting us. Yeah. All right, you want to take another one?
Let's go.
Yeah. Oh, actually, it's been about an hour. Do we need a bathroom break, or
It's been
a
an
quick
hour?
BRB or anything?
I know, right?
Holy
It's going
shit.
quickly. I know.
Jesus. No, I'm good. I went
yeah.
to pee before, so.
I'm good.
We okay?
Mm.
All right. I'll check in like 30 minutes or so and see if we're still good. Okay. All right. See, you communicate with your partners. Make sure, and that's important. You gotta, when you're in the middle of doing the deed, you gotta check in and make sure everyone's good. See if they need any water, stuff like that. Chat. I gotta set a good example for you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's pull something.
Communication.
There's a bug in my room.
Kill it.
Bothers me. It's so small.
Okay.
It's like a gnat. I can't reach it. I can't smush it.
Too fast.
All right, so we can take as another relationship advice mixed with some sex ed. My partner has typically feminine parts, and we are both relatively inexperienced. They do not know what finishing is supposed to feel like, so it's hard for him to give me feedback on what to do. Any thoughts on how to remedy this? Just to clarify, based on the assumption, we don't really ever want to give parts feminine or masculine traits, but instead you can just say vagina or penis or whatever it is. I am going to assume here that you are implying that your partner is a man with a vagina. And I don't know, because I don't know if this person will be able to answer us, but let's assume then that they are talking about a man with a vagina. They do not really know what finishing is supposed to feel like, so it's hard for him to give feedback on what I do. Any thoughts on how to remedy this? All right. Anyone want to start this one off? Or I can as well. I'll pop into it while you think.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it really doesn't matter what, body parts someone has. I think if you're with someone who has said that, like, I have never been able to finish, that's a really vulnerable thing to share, number one. And probably you have to realize that there's going to be a whole layer for both of you of being self-conscious now, right? About how do I make sure I can be good enough for my partner, and vice versa. They are probably also feeling like, how can I be good enough for you, right? So I think we've said it a million times, but communication is always extremely important. And backing up to what I said before, like, open up the lines of communication. Focus on, how do I help you feel comfortable communicating to me? And how do you get comfortable communicating with them? Because in the moment, doing sexual things with each other, it doesn't need to be this weird taboo thing to be able to talk to each other, right? It should be fun.
Yep.
It should be a fun experience where you can joke around. You can talk about things that are happening, right? And at the end of the day, you can just keep checking in. Keep being like, hey, do you like this?
Mm-hmm. Does this
do you
feel
not
good?
like this? Because at the end of the day, if your partner is trans, whether they're trans or not, like, anybody who has any body part, they're going to like different things. Okay? No two people with vaginas are going to like exactly the same kind of thing. Everyone is different, right? Thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate that. So you want to make sure that you're talking about that. And you can, I've had a lot of people on these shows, and it's pretty much unanimous that everyone says one of the things that's really sexy for them is when partners communicate with them and try to make sure they're having a good time. So it is not weird. It doesn't kill the mood for you to just stop and ask, are you liking this? Is this feeling good for you? Is there anything I can do better? Like, do you want me to try anything else? Like, just really, because it's really vulnerable to, if someone's doing something to you and it's not quite, it's not quite doing the right things. It's really vulnerable to be like, hey, actually, can you, do this, or can you do that? Like, whatever it might be, right? Because sometimes people are afraid to voice that because they've had bad experiences telling a partner what to do or whatever it may be. So just always make sure you open that line of communication and you ask them, give them the opening to be able to communicate with you, right?
Yeah.
This situation, right, with you and your partner, you can't just assume that he is going to communicate that stuff with you. Just try things out and see, see what feels good, what feels right. Okay. And at the end of the day, you are not a failure.
No.
If they don't finish. And he is not a failure if he doesn't finish. It's not a game or competition or race to finish. that doesn't mean anything for sex. It can be part of it, right? And it can definitely be something that is trying to be achieved, but it's okay if it doesn't happen, right? That's something that is super, super, super important to acknowledge. And just because it doesn't happen today doesn't mean it can't happen tomorrow. Right?
Right.
Anything you want to add on that?
No, you pretty much covered all
I
of
was
it.
saying you covered it pretty well. I was just gonna say pretty much what, it's not about, not every time you have sex, it's going to end in orgasm.
Yeah.
If
Stop
that's
putting
your
that
goal, sorry, if that's your goal, then and you're having trouble achieving it, then yeah, you just need to communicate with your partner. I like this, not this. I like this, not this. You know?
Hmm.
That
Yeah.
that's it. That's all I got.
And
Don't put pressure on yourself to be like some sort of sex expert right out of the gate. You know,
yeah.
never feel like, no, I gotta be this like super sexy Casanova like in the pornos or anything like that. You know, like no, like Marina said,
Uh-huh.
there is never anything wrong with asking questions. There is nothing wrong with being inexperienced. The fun is gaining the experience. So have fun with it.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. All right. Let me find us another one.
I went on this subreddit once where it is dedicated to men putting their dicks in their own asses. Anyways.
Lofty goal.
Wow. Okay.
I just wanted
okay.
to share that.
When your own hole is the goal.
Mm-hmm. And they do it.
How long
they
did you
achieve it.
How long did you spend on this subreddit? Were you just finding yourself scrolling down like the rabbit hole of like
Yeah.
you couldn't look away?
Well, I saw it in like the comments and I was like, can they actually do it? And boy, do they.
Way to go, boys.
Many examples.
This is a good question. I don't think I have ever seen anyone ask
Ooh.
in the history of me doing anything like this on this stream, or like I've done a lot of sex ed stuff. How do I keep track of my own red flags?
Cool.
Fucking awesome question. Well, you know what? One thing, you're obviously a very self-aware person for being able to even ask that question in the first place. So kudos to you.
Yes.
Self-actualization is a very hard trait. It's a very hard skill to acquire. Just acquire, let alone master. A lot of it is just, yet again, about communication. It's about learning, no matter how many different partners you have, learning about each and every one of them. Eventually, you'll start to, you'll get kind of an idea of the things that are not red flags in relationships. And the more you keep track of those, the better you'll be able to keep track of yourself and your own, like, the way you think about things, the way you approach relationships and situations, the mindset that you typically find yourself in before or after any sort of sexual encounter, like keeping tabs on these things in order to find our own red flags is a very lofty goal, and it can be very hard and it can be very confusing. So, like, kudos to you. Is that one of your follow things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, gotcha. I was like, wait, what am I hearing? Shit, I lost my train of thought. Honestly, I would just say to, a lot of it just comes down to getting the experience and learning stuff, learning what to look out for, and then putting that into practice. Easier said than done, but good on you for trying to do it.
There's also no universal red flags that exist. Like, some people find murderers attractive. I would say a murderer for me is a red flag. And like, it's So for me personally, I I live in Wisconsin, which is the drunkest state in the US. I do not drink, nor do I enjoy like bar culture or anything. So
It's the
for me,
drunkest state?
yeah, it is.
I never knew
There's
that.
It
nothing
is.
else to
Okay.
do there.
There, yeah, it is snow and that's it. So when I see somebody who just drinks like a ton, that to me is a red flag. But a lot of other people out there they're totally fine with it. So it also again depends on who you're going to be seeing or like th- there are some like hygiene obviously, you know, if is you got to take care of yourself. I would say that's probably almost universal. There's definitely some red flags that are you need to, you know, take care of your hygiene. Um that is very important.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, don't not shower for 2 weeks like Coco.
what I smell great.
I honestly, you do. I'm gonna have to ask you to come back again.
No.
Just don't shower between now and then, so we really get that marinade
Okay,
baking on.
deal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
it's different person to person. If
Mhm.
you for me, I don't like people who like VTubers. VTubers are disgusting and I hate them and
Agreed.
yeah, it's different. You one thing you think might be good about yourself, somebody might not like. And there's nothing you can do about that. You shouldn't have to also change yourself to fit somebody else's idea of a perfect person. So don't
Mhm.
think about it too hard. Obviously, you can try to improve yourself, but communication, can't stress it enough. You know,
Yeah.
ask your partner, hey, do you like it when I leave the dirty dishes out in the sink for 3 weeks? And if they say no, then work on it, you know? If you
Yeah.
want to. Nobody is going to force you to. Again, don't have somebody force change you into something you don't want to be. If you if leaving dishes in the sink for 3 weeks is your favorite pastime, you do you, I guess. But you're going to have to find somebody that also likes that, which is going to be hard.
Yeah. I think we kind of have to define No, never. That's good.
Like sex
I
with
think
ponies or
I that's what you're into. Yeah, okay. So, I think we really have to define red flags, right? Like red flags essentially are signs of unhealthiness, right? That's kind of what a red flag is. So you really, how do you find your red flags and keep track of them? Well, red flags are also going to be kind of subjective to different people.
Mhm.
That is one thing to
Mhm.
keep in mind. But if you are self-aware enough, like Mim said, to ask this question, that's obviously a huge step in the right direction. Everyone should be able to ask this question, right? That's why I put in chat that I don't have red flags, copium. Like, everyone's got something going on that someone might consider a red flag, unless they're perfect, and perfect people don't exist, right?
Yep.
But the best you can do is just try to work on yourself, you know? Therapy is one of those things that so many people, you know how many times I've heard like, yeah, but I don't need therapy,
Bullshit.
right? I'm not at this place or whatever. And you know, therapy is something that I recommend for literally everyone, especially if you've never gone to therapy. And it's okay to go to therapy and be like, you know what, I don't really have anything particularly bothering me. I've just never been to therapy and I felt like it was an important thing to go. And a therapist will kind of guide you with topics that you might want to talk about that may end up feeling helpful, right? Like, it's not, the onus isn't always on you to run a therapy session, right? You're paying someone on purpose to be able to do that for you. They're a professional. Yeah, so
they're also going to be trained to find very specific things.
Trans
yeah,
rights.
so you can kind of say those things, but yeah, how do I keep track? I mean, if you're not talking about like going to therapy and talking with therapists, like, you may have had interactions with people where they have brought things up to you, right? Or if you have a good trustworthy friends, you can literally talk to friends and be like, hey, I've been doing some introspection and I'm trying to see if there are things that I do that maybe annoy people or bother people, or things that, you know, I can work on. And here's the thing, you might talk to friends and there are so many friends who just say, no, you're fine. And they just won't be honest with you. So that's kind of why it's like, you have to find those friends that you know will be honest with you and stress that you're looking for an honest answer. Like, I want really honest advice, even if you think it might be hurtful. Like, that's the kind of thing that you have to preface it with.
Yep.
And then also you have to keep that in mind, that they're being vulnerably honest with you, and you have to not be upset with what they tell you if that's the kind of question you're looking for. Yeah.
Yep.
Do the goddamn dishes.
Do you have experience with someone who wouldn't do the dishes? This seems really personal for you.
No, not personal at all. Just do the fucking dishes. I swear to God. No, not personal. No.
Oh, all right. All right, let me see. This one seems like a lot. My friends and family keep trying to push me back together with my ex after they cheated on me, telling me how they made me better and that's why they cheated on me, etc.
Oh,
and even
fuck
trying to
that.
make them move in with me when I was uncomfortable with it. But I still have lots of sympathy towards my ex despite it all, but I don't know what's right or what I want to do about it.
Any situation where you are being pressured to be with someone or live with someone that you're not comfortable with is a bad situation. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. Like, from what I'm reading it anyway, like, unless I'm misunderstanding, but it sounds
Yeah, I don't. This.
yeah, that whole thing just sounds like talk about a red flag. Like, that whole thing sounds like just a fire alarm of yikes going off right now. Like, no.
This is the kind of question where I want to have someone, you know, sitting at the bar stool and I say, huh? And I want to ask them questions, right? Because I have so many questions, right? Like, you know, one of my questions here is, why are your friends and family trying to push you back together? What are they saying? What's the perspective there? Like, you know,
is there some sort of family pressure about, like, you marrying? Like, is there something about this person that they really like, or like does your family have a, like, is there some sort of thing in your family where getting married or being with someone is something that's kind of seen as a must do, and they're trying to push you into that? Like, is this a cultural thing? Like, there's there's so many different factors that could be going into this.
Yeah.
And yeah, do they know that they cheated on you? Like, and
they
also
just said,
like
they said that telling me that they made me a better person and that's why they cheated on me. Like, like the family is telling them that is at least that's what it reads like. My family and friends keep trying to push me back together with my ex after they cheated on me, telling me how they made me better and that's why they cheated on me, etc., etc., and trying to make me move in with them. That just sounds like a whole bunch of nope to me.
Oh, okay. I kind of read this before as like, the ex was saying that's why I cheated on you. But no, I understand now. Okay, it's coming from
The
coming from
family.
outside people, basically trying to be like, you deserved it? Question mark.
Pretty much. But from the sound of it, that's what I'm getting out of it anyway.
And yeah, it's a weird scenario because we don't know the full details, right? And you know, maybe your life wasn't really in a great place, and this happening might have made you start doing things that were better for yourself. Is that an excuse for it?
No.
Absolutely not. So, like, correlation is not causation. Meaning just because that happened and maybe your ex cheated on you and afterwards you did happen to quote unquote be better, that's not causation. There's nothing that says that one leads to the other or anything like that. They have nothing to do with each other. The bottom line is, if you are uncomfortable in a relationship, or something that someone did breaks your boundaries, your trust, whatever it might be, you are valid to just not want to be in a relationship. You never have to, like, you were never obligated to date anybody, period, right?
Yep.
And you don't have to even, like, have a specific reason why. I mean, usually we do. Like, when we get to a point where we need to break up with someone, we usually have a pretty clear defined reason. But that's the thing. You're never obligated to stay in a relationship with someone or stay in a friendship, like any of those things. Like, you are your own free person. Where all this pressure's coming from, I don't know. Like, I am super curious to, like, understand more.
I'm also really concerned about the language at the end of it, where it's saying that they don't know what's right about, like, so usually what that says to me is, like, this person feels like in some way it was okay for the ex and the family to be doing what they're doing, or they feel like telling their family and their ex, no, I don't want this, would be them being selfish. And if that's the case, my friend, whoever asked this question, telling your family and your ex that you want nothing to do with this situation anymore is not selfish. That is you taking care of you. And that is a healthy thing. There are such a things as healthy boundaries, and it sounds like your boundaries are being crossed right now, and there is nothing wrong with you telling them, and there's nothing selfish about you telling them that this is uncomfortable for you.
If push comes to shove, and you really can't stand that ex, you can involve the law. You can get a restraining order.
Yeah.
Like, if you want nothing to do with them to the point where you have to involve the law, that is an option. You never have to be with someone. They do not have to be forced upon you. Well, I guess it depends on where you live, or, like...
Right.
At least in the US.
Yeah. Okay. I have an update, anonymous update from, I'm assuming the person who asked this question. It says, my family goes I'm more healthy with my ex, which was a little true. They tell me my ex left me because I'm no good without her, and they know she cheated, and they want me to have them move in. I care about the ex, but I don't want to get back in the relationship, but pressure hurts. And I don't hate my ex. I think we can be friends, but it's hard to talk to them. It hasn't been that long.
Oh, honey.
It sounds really unhealthy.
Yeah, it sounds really unhealthy to me.
It sounds like... And here's the thing that I feel like a lot of people end up in these situations where it's like, you love somebody, you care about somebody. It could be a friendship, it could be a relationship, it doesn't really matter. But, like, when you connect with another human being and there becomes unhealthy elements to it, there's usually this pull to, like, you miss the good times, you miss the good things. You can't stop thinking about that stuff, right? Or whatever the other things might be. Yeah, like, maybe there was a convenience of you two being together, or now it's going to be a lot harder for you to break up or end your friendship or whatever it might be, right? there are all these different outside factors, and at the end of the day, I think what you have to think about is there are so many other human beings out there for you to connect with,
Yeah.
and that you probably already have connected with, and that you will connect with, and there is virtually no reason for you to put yourself through discomfort or pain, sadness, trauma, like triggering things, just because you're afraid you'll never find anything better, or you feel like you're being pressured to do it, or whatever it might be, right? And I'm not talking about to this person specifically. I just mean in general, when we are in these situations, right? There's a bunch of different reasons why we do that. And I think the important thing to remember is that we should have freedom over ourselves, right? And we need to treat ourselves with love and care and respect, and think about, as much as you can, think about that third person perspective. What would you tell someone else who was in this situation? Right? Imagine your friend is in this situation. Sometimes it's easier to visualize and come to conclusions when it's not you, because you tell yourself, well, I don't deserve XYZ. But if it's your friend, you might be like, oh, hell no. Are they, like, am I letting them do this or that? Yeah.
Yep. Good luck.
Yeah. Do we want to water break, bathroom break, anything like that?
I'm good.
I'm good.
You okay? Okay. Let's take another one then. Wait. Oh, okay. I'm trying to understand this. Do women finish too early in sex? I see a lot of people say it's impossible. I've experienced it happen with a partner, but told it's just copium.
Now, see, if the question was, do men finish too early in sex? I see a lot of people say it's impossible, blah, blah, blah. Then I'd be like, oh, yeah, men finish early all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think gender matters. I think anyone
yeah,
can.
anyone can finish really quick. It just depends on, sensitivity or
Yeah.
how their body reacts to certain stimuli, or whether it's physical or otherwise. I don't know about. I don't know.
I have been with women that can finish extremely quickly and over and over and over and over again. And I've also been with women who it's much harder for them to do that, and it takes 20-30 minutes, right? Like no two people are the same. And also it might depend. The same woman might say, well, with internal stimulation hitting just the right spots, I can finish so fast. And then that same person might be like, well, if I'm only having like external clitoral stimulation, I can finish, but it might take me 30 minutes instead of 2. So different people's and someone else might say the complete opposite, right? Some people are like, oh, well, I mean, I can have penetrative stimulation, but it's way harder. And then for clitoral stimulation, they can finish really easily. So again, it's there's no right answer. There's no golden rule.
There's as of November this year, as of last month, there's over 8 billion people living on this planet right now, and every one of them comes differently.
That's true. And some don't come at all, right? And so, like, that's just, it is how it is. I want to, again, stress, because we had similar questions earlier, like, stress that there is no need to finish, right? Have fun with what's going on, and do what you can, and just make sure you are communicating and helping out your partner in whatever way you can. That's really the most important thing. Yeah.
Boldly go.
Also, yeah. And I mean, so here's the thing, because this is, I think, what happens a lot too, is the idea of like the penetrative sex being the only sex, and the idea of like, well, once someone finishes, then the penetrative sex stops. And if that's the case, which could always be the case if someone wants to stop, right? Because anyone always has that right. It doesn't mean that activities have to stop, right?
Yeah.
So if someone with a penis is penetrating someone with a vagina, for example, and they're having sex, and the person with the vagina comes first and says, okay, I'm sensitive now, or it's hurting, or they don't even need an excuse, just they want you to stop, and you remove yourself, or the person with the penis removes themselves, right? Like, that doesn't mean that the person with the penis can't continue to self-stimulate.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe the partner will help stimulate them, or whatever, right? It doesn't mean that someone can't get themselves off. I feel like there's also a weird shame sometimes for people thinking that, oh, well, I can't masturbate during sex, right? Like, I can't masturbate in front of someone else, or I can't do this or that. Like, there's no shame in that. There's no problem with that kind of a thing as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other things on this?
Yeah.
I don't know. Come.
That's
Yay.
okay.
Come together if you can. And if
Yay.
not, that's fine too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Got another relationship advice one. After a really bad first relationship 5 years ago, I'm 18, almost 19.
Okay, wait a minute. Never mind. I'll let you finish it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I've never gotten into a relationship again, and I've only been working on myself. Gym, self-care. The closest thing I've had to a relationship since is having friends with benefits. I'm dating a girl, and I'm worried about being a bad partner due to this sort of isolation. What could I do to become a better partner?
That is such a sweet question.
Communication.
Yeah.
I can't stress it enough. Tell them that you're nervous, that you had a bad relationship 5 years ago. Tell them everything you just told us.
Yep.
Communication. Tell them that you're scared. There's nothing wrong with admitting that.
No.
If anything, it might have them feel better about being with you since you're open and honest, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
communication, that it is so important. But I'm glad to hear you're working on yourself. That is something that's good.
Self-love. It's really
Mhm.
important.
Yep. And I mean, yeah, what's up, Ben?
I would like to. I want to make sure this person also don't try not to let that first relationship, even though it was a bad experience. Try not to let it. I know it's hard, but try not to let it paint your expectations of this relationship or future relationships. Especially, try to remember. I'm assuming when you say you're 18 and 19, you mean now. So, which means 5 years ago you had your first relationship.
Hi, Zozo.
All of our first relationships end crappily. Most of the time, most people's first relationships is not a great one. So forget, if you're holding any shame or any fear because of that experience, please forgive yourself and just remember that this is new, and this is something new for you. And as long as you're honest about your feelings with this new person there and every person going forward, about what you're afraid of, your insecurities, and what you're expecting out of a relationship, your relationships will only get better and better with time.
Yeah. I think something else, whether you like it pointed out or not, something else to look at is you're 18 years old.
Very young.
People
Very
having
young.
bad relationships at 13 years old I don't know anyone who had a good relationship at 13 years old.
Yep.
Like, it is such a, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but it's just such an immature part of human life. And it's a part in development, adolescent development. It is extremely hormonal, right? It's just 13-year-olds having relationships. They are bound to be problematic, rocky. People are bound to be selfish. People are bound to make mistakes because that's the learning period, right? I will say 18. I don't know a lot of people who had good relationships at 18.
No.
Right?
No.
It's anywhere from, that 13 range to like mid 20s. You have to keep in mind. Remember, like, the brain's not fully formed until 25, right? And so that means that people are still growing and developing and able to really function at their top until they're 25.
And even then,
and it's not a derogatory thing, right? It's not a derogatory thing about like, oh, well, you're younger, so this or this. No, it's like, it's a literal, just a fact. It's something to think about. Like, it's okay to have relationships, but also acknowledge maybe you or other partners are gonna make mistakes and are gonna do things to piss each other off and are gonna do things to, not be good partners. Is it possible that you might be a bad partner regardless of how hard you try? Yes, possible. But there's definitely things that you can do to try your best, right?
It sounds like they're already kind of doing a lot of that. It's just more of
Yeah.
just be.
That's all you can do
Yeah.
is try your best.
Just be honest. Do your
Was
best.
there
Yeah.
stinky? Huh.
Yeah. Communication. Thank you, Len. Okay. All right. We can go on to another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
These drinks smell so good. I want to drink now.
Oh, okay. Wait. Now I can clarify on this too. This says, you said before, I'm assuming me, you said before that you shouldn't actively get into a relationship if you are deep into mental health troubles. But what would be healthy enough? Like, do you need to have no self-esteem issues, period? Or are you okay to have a little? Just to clarify, I think what I said was like, if you are, like, you should make sure that you've worked on yourself.
I love you, Marina.
And not rely on other people to quote unquote fix you or make you feel better. Like, you shouldn't find validation or self-worth in a relationship, period, ever. I don't know if there's anyone who exists who has no self-esteem issues, period. Like, I feel like we all have moments, even the people who have been to therapy for years and do the best to just be like really positive, good people. Sometimes we just get to those places, right? Where we have a bad day, where we're feeling poor about ourselves. Like, it's okay. You don't need to be in a perfect mental health mindset to have a relationship.
No.
I think what I meant here, more importantly, was if you're in a really unhealthy place, you have to keep in mind that you may not want to be prioritizing a relationship. And I will also say generally, the kind of people, there are people out there who seek out people who are in bad mental places because they are easier to manipulate, easier to control, easier to, just generally do things that other people want to do. So it's a lot easier to get into abusive situations when people are in really unhealthy mental spots.
That's not to say that,
Any thoughts?
That's not to say that, like Marina said, you don't have to be in like some perfect non-mental health issue or anything like that in order to qualify. There is no magic qualification for a relationship. All a relationship requires is two or more people, that are willing to communicate with each other honestly, set boundaries, and take responsibility for their own stuff. So if you are having mental issues and stuff and you are in a relationship, as long as you are actively working on that, working on yourself to improve yourself, taking responsibility for your stuff, whether that is talking to a therapist or whatever you need to do, as long as you are doing that and your partners will meet you halfway, then you're doing all you need to do.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I
But
agree.
but if you are not taking care of yourself and you're not taking responsibility for those things, and your mental health starts to negatively affect the people in your relationship because you're not taking responsibility for your stuff, then you're getting into unhealthy places, and some reevaluations need to be made.
And just because you're going through something, it doesn't mean you're not worthy of a relationship either.
Absolutely.
Like, people have their ups and downs. Everybody does. Someday you might wake up and you're like, fuck. I feel like shit. And maybe it never goes away, but that doesn't mean you're not worthy, or there's no checkpoint. You don't have to go through a scanner that says, okay, you're good,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. All right.
It'd be nice if there was a scanner that
Yeah, wouldn't it?
that did that, yeah.
Just fix everything.
Mm-hmm.
Little Star Trek action. All right, you're good. Would be awesome.
All right.
Wish. Yeah. Be amazing. No more therapists. Let's go. Oh my god.
Healthy living for everybody. Yay!
Here's one if people want to answer. They definitely do not need to answer if this is something that you don't want to answer. But someone asks, what is everyone's favorite kink and why?
Kink. Define kink.
It's hard to pick one, but
Yeah, I have a few. Generally.
but
Oh, sorry.
yeah, go for it. No, you go for it.
Stupid fucking
please.
lag. I am so sorry. For me, generally, I typically go for. I like BDSM. I like being tied up. I like feeling. I like being submissive and being told what to do. I like being a brat. I like the little punishments that come from being a brat. The playful punishments, like especially physical sensations, like little teasy tortures and stuff, like being tickled or having like or spanking or wax play.
Loss of
or
control.
Loss of control is a big one for me. Yeah, I like the roller coaster. I like to feel like I'm in a roller coaster ride. It's the same feeling, It's that you're strapped in, you're going for a ride. You feel for a brief time out of control, but in a safe in an environment that is designed for you to experience that while being safe.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that's a good explanation. Because I think why is always like a curious question. Because people ask me constantly, like, is it just a bit, Marina, or do you actually like armpits? And I'm always my answer to people is always no, it's not a bit. I do genuinely like armpits.
Armpits are sexy.
Yeah, I do. I am genuinely attracted to armpits, to sweat, to stuff like that. And for me, like, when I have stuff like an armpit toggle and stuff like this, it's not to be sexy. It's more to normalize the idea of it's okay to like what you like, right? It's okay to like armpits. It's okay to like feet, right?
Yeah.
It's okay to like tummies or
thighs.
Whatever it is that whatever it is that you may like. It's less about trying to be sexy, and it is that, like, hey, it's okay, right? That's what's in sex positivity is what's like always been super important to me. But yes, as far as like why do I like what I like, I think it's a complicated scenario. I don't know if I really can tell you why. I just do. But one of the things that I was thinking, have you? Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Have you seen the thing where it's like breaking down what you visualize in your head, like on a number scale of 1 to 5? Do you know what I'm talking about at all?
Well, huh?
Is
Here,
this like
I
a
will show you.
test? Is this like one of those like test thingies?
Here, no, I'll show you. So it's like if I told you right now, for example, to like picture an apple,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
it would be like what do you picture? And let me show you the scale real quick. Here it is, really small. Here's the scale. It's like, what do you picture on a scale of 1 to 5?
Oh, 1.
1.
You're a 1. You're also a 1?
Yeah.
If you close your eyes right now, okay. So for me, I'm a 5. And I didn't know I was a 5 because I didn't know 1 through 4 even existed. Like, I didn't know anyone actually could picture things.
Oh.
I thought like it was normal for me to just like close my eyes, not see anything, and just understand the concepts, like to be able to visualize conceptually, if that makes sense, that there should be an apple in front of me, but there is no apple in front of me, right? Aphantasia, yes. So for me, not being able to really take part in these more visceral fantasies and see things and whatever it might be, I think that's maybe part of why I am so strongly attracted to smells and
Makes
tastes and things like that. Because for me, when I'm with somebody and I can smell them, or like having a partner's clothing that has been worn and I can like smell it, is really attractive to me, for example. But I couldn't like sit there, close my eyes, and like picture something happening, right? So I can concepts can be hot to me, right? Like if if I was just trying to get myself off, I could think about a concept, but it's not the same as having like some kind of sensory stimulus for me, which would be like a smell or a taste or something like that. So I think that might play into why like scents and stuff like that kind of went up for me as like main kinks, I guess. Yeah, but I don't know.
Could
I had a partner that was sweaty one time when I was growing up, and I was like, oh, I like this, and just kind of went from there, I guess. Yeah, and armpits are sweaty and they smell nice. So as I knew that I liked sweat and that kind of stuff, because it was actually like sweaty down below was the first thing I really experienced as a thing that I was like, oh wow, I like this. And then I think I realized I just liked sweat, like
the musk.
a girl's sweat. Like I just really liked it. So then it just kind of like armpits became a thing for me, I guess. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Actually, maybe I have aphantasia too, and I'm into smells too. Ah. Yeah, that's what I'm always curious about when I ask people.
Now, I don't know
Yeah.
if I have kinks. Like, I think my chat was probably expecting me to say feet because I talk about them all the time, but that's just a joke. I don't actually care.
And some people don't.
I would have to say,
Yeah.
I really like when people take their nails and like scratch my back.
Oh
Yeah. They just
Yeah.
like run their nails down my back. That whoa. That does it for me.
In like
That's fun.
like you could have a partner giving you like a nice back scratch, and it like all of a sudden triggers you to be like, ooh, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Or is it? Oh, okay.
Oh. Oh.
So
Engine motor.
do you like getting
running.
scratched when you're
I mean, just like a
Cuddling?
regular, like if somebody just
Smile?
came up and scratched my back, I'd be like, ooh, I wouldn't be horny or anything, but if they do it during, then I'm like, whoa.
Okay,
You know,
okay. Yeah. So do you just own a collection of those back scratchers then? Like the really long things with the hands at the end
No.
that you just...
I don't have a single
No?
back scratcher. Again, it's not.
Wow, yeah.
I'm not masturbating and with a back scratcher on my back. You know, like it needs to be somebody else. You know, I can scratch my own back. It's
I
fine.
love
you know?
that.
It's like
I'm just
it's like trying
imagining
to
someone
tickle your own
masturbating
feet.
now while...
Yeah. You need somebody else to do it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I'm not here like licking my own armpit, getting all excited off of it. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. All right, let's see. It's been about 2 hours. How are we feeling?
Feeling good.
I'm probably gonna have to go to bed shortly. I'm starting to fade.
Okay.
It's time.
We want to take one last question then?
Sure.
All right, let's take one more. Let me see. Okay, I think this is a good kind of wholesome one to end on. What if I don't really want sex?
Totally fine.
Like, it's not that I don't want it, but it just seems like a lot.
Totally valid.
Yep. Next question.
Yeah.
Next question.
You want to do another one? Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, we can do another one. But yeah, I thought this was important to address. Like,
sometimes
you could
you're
be
not in the
ace,
mood. Yeah.
or you could not be ace. Like, either way, it's okay to never want sex ever, or it's okay to want sex but only conditionally. Like, you know, if you really like somebody or really know somebody or you feel really comfortable with somebody, like, just because you see someone else like sleeping with 40 people in a year or more, like, doesn't mean that you have to do that. And you may not understand why. For someone, it's like, oh, this person likes hooking up with a different person all the time. I could never understand that, and it's okay if you don't understand it, right? It's okay for them to do that, and it's okay for you not to not want to do that, right? Yeah. What does ace mean? Asexual. It's a shorthand term for asexual, which is an umbrella term. That means anyone who generally does not desire sex as much as the average person, we can say. And some people say they are asexual. They are completely not wanting to ever have sex, not interested at all. And some people on the ace spectrum consider themselves like demisexual. Means I don't really care for sex without emotional connection. Like, I really want to know someone and be attracted to someone emotionally before I get attracted to them physically. You're right. Like, there are different people that have different kind of feelings. Yeah. All right. Let's see then. Okay, I'm trying to understand this question. Maybe you can help me understand this question. Then we'll end with this one. I'm hypersexual and jerk off a lot to help manage that. It's made it hard to jerk off during sex. How do I tell my partner that I don't enjoy finishing myself off without worrying that they will feel forced to help me finish? I want to make sure they enjoy it as well and don't want to come off as selfish.
I have the perfect answer.
Please.
You tell your partner that you don't enjoy finishing yourself off and you don't want them worrying that they will feel forced to help you finish.
Yep.
I just read what you wrote. Communication.
Yeah.
Communication. You tell them exactly what you told us. You tell them exactly what you just said.
Honesty.
Communication.
Transparency. It's the only
Mhm.
way to get what you want out of a relationship.
And it's really good that you're, making the effort to have this discussion in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Like the fact that you're even aware of it. Like I don't want to come off as selfish.
Yeah. You're
I think-
concerned with their comfort, and that's beautiful.
Yeah, I think that and communicating that is important, right? Yeah, hypersexual, I don't know if it means like just a high libido, right? I think one of the things to think about too is there's a difference between having like a high sex drive and being interested in having sex and having a sex addiction, right? And I think there is something that is worth self-evaluating and thinking, does it check off the boxes for addiction? Is it something that you feel compulsed to do more than a quote unquote regular amount? Also, more importantly, is it conflicting with your day-to-day life, right? Do you find yourself spending hours a day masturbating because of this hypersexuality and you can't stop yourself from doing it? It's things like
It
that.
could also just
Because if it...
I'm sorry.
No, please.
It could also be something it could also be like hormone imbalances. Over people with a unnaturally high production of testosterone can, especially cis males with hypertestosterone stuff, can have symptoms of hypersexuality where their libido is just in overdrive all the time, all the fucking time. And it could be an actual medical thing that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was going to say. It's like, if you feel like it might be something like that, if it feels out of control, absolutely, doctor, therapist, like, it's something worth bringing up, right? Remember, those are safe spaces. Talking to a doctor, talking to a mental health professional, like, these are people who it's literally their job to hear people who need help with things or just want to talk about it, right? You can have the conversation. I'm not sure if I have a sex addiction or if I have a hormone imbalance that might be making me feel hypersexual. You can talk about it. They'll ask you questions about it, and you'll kind of come to a conclusion. And they may tell you, no, it sounds normal, or they may tell you, you could look into this. But at the end of the day, the three of us can't help diagnose anything or give you advice other than just make sure you're communicating and talk to a medical professional if it's something that seems more serious. Yeah. All right. Thank you both so much for joining me. I had a ton of fun. I really loved hearing what you had to say, and yeah, I'm sure people in chat learned a thing or two, and it's always nice to hear different opinions on things,
Communication.
So
Communication.
communication. Literally, anyone who's been here more than 1 week, every week we talk about it. Communication, and it's important. It really, absolutely is important.
Extremely important.
Talk about the things you're afraid to talk about, because they're the important things.
Yeah. Well, I want to make sure that y'all follow both Coconuts and Mimcubus, the two wonderful content creators that I had on. So right there are the two links. Please make sure you follow them both. I love them both so much, and their streams are super, super fun. So make sure you do that. Yeah. If you missed my intro in the beginning, I am Marina. I'm a variety streamer. I do a whole bunch of stuff. I do this sex ed and relationship advice stream every single week. Next week, we'll be having on Lily Bell and Artsy as our two guests. And yeah, we'll be doing this every Friday unless I say otherwise. But right now, I think, we're doing one, the pre-Christmas show. We're doing one right before New Year's. Come by every Friday, 9 p.m. Pacific time, and check it out. I really appreciate y'all being here. If you're not in the Discord... Right? If you're not in the Discord, there is the link. Make sure that you hop in there. You can get notifications when I go live, when we do these streams, or otherwise. And also, here are my socials where you can find me everywhere I create content, whether it's streaming here, or on other websites, or on Twitter, or, whatever I'm doing. The next time you will see me, chat, will be for our Uncapped Subathon, which is starting on Sunday. Yeah. Ooh. Oh God. Oh, thank you for that.
Mhm.
I appreciate that. Yeah, so Sunday at 9 p.m. Pacific, when I start stream all the time, I will be starting an uncapped subathon, and we will go until, I don't know, until you decide you want me to leave. But yeah, we'll be doing that. I have a lot of stuff planned, a lot of collabs, a lot of different cool new interactive things. Some exclusive merch that will only be available during the subathon, which I'm really excited about, including, I'll tease you, the opportunity to get a Dakimakura
Oh.
from me that has been
Oh.
signed and cuddled with. But you have to know that I'm really stinky, so it might have a bunch of my stink on it. So you'll have
Yes!
to be careful
Let's
about that.
go!
Yeah.
Thank God.
But but yeah, come by on Sunday, check out the subathon. Please make sure, again, I'm gonna drop that collab command again. Please make sure that you have followed Coco and Mim. And thank you too so much. I really, really
Yeah,
appreciate you
thanks
being
for
here.
having
It means
us.
the world. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do this in the way that I do without the wonderful guests I have on. So thank you for being a part of that.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
I'm Incubus.
Yeah.
I'm a shy, low-level incubus. I collect dreams so that one day I can unlock my succubus form.
That's cheating. You can't do that.
I can.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Coco Nuts. I am a cringe VTuber. You shouldn't watch VTubers because they're bad for you.
True.
Yeah. Go touch grass.
True.
Yeah.
Or I'll punch you
Yeah.
in the face.
Amen.
It checks out, honestly.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah. All right, well, we are going to go raid a good friend of mine. Cottontail VA. She is actually just finishing her subathon. She is doing the last
Oh.
stretch of 24 hours. She capped it off. So she has about 9 hours left. I'm actually going to take a break myself, continue working on my subathon stuff. And then she invited me to come hang out with her tonight at about 2 a.m. Pacific time. So if you degens are around at 2 a.m. Pacific time, stick around Cotton Stream and you'll catch me then. But otherwise, I will see you Sunday. I love you all. I really appreciate you being here. Oh, we're going to go with this raid message. Oh, the one I sent. Here we go. Where I sent it to you, right, ma'am? I said I loved this.
Oh.
Let's see.
Where is it? Oh, yes, you did. Yeah, you sent it to me.
Yeah, let me
Yeah.
let me copy this real quick. Edit. Okay. Let's see. Hopefully this works. Yeah. Raid message. There's the raid message. Or if you're not subbed, you can use the sexy raid. If you are subbed, you can use my emote. If you're not, you can use the other one. But yes, we will use this as a raid message. Yeah, thank you so much. I love you. I love you, chat. I love
Bye,
you, Mem. I love you,
chat.
Coco.
Love you. Bye, everyone.
Mwah. Bye.
Are they gone?